Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Like I say, I don't do reviews, but I do talk about equipment. Like I say, knives, AK-47s, I talk about stuff. And it's not so much a particular item, a particular brand and all this stuff, but what to look for in that product. Now this product is going to be shoes. You have to have a good for preparedness, to being prepared. You have to have a good pair of hiking boots and a good pair of combat boots. And I want to explain the differences and why. That's what this is about. Okay, first, on regular shoes. This is just a plain old, I would call it a plain old tennis shoe. And it's lightweight. You see the flexibility, it's like that. In a survival type situation, this is not a good footwear. What happens when it's flexible like this, I've noticed when I step on rocks, I can feel the rock. Now it's not pain because it's still a pretty new shoe, but I can feel it. And like I say, I don't do long-term walking wearing something like this, unless I was going in the mall or something like that, going shopping, But like I say, my life is mainly outdoors, so this is not really would be satisfying. This is I would consider a hiking boot, and it's mid-quality. It's still, you see, we got the flexibility. I can feel the rocks, but it's got to be a bigger rock than the tennis shoe. But I can still feel it. And I say there's not much ankle support. But the thing I liked about it is it's smaller than a regular boot. When you get your big old boots. So, and it's supposed to be waterproof. So that's really what I got this thing for. And I say this thing ran, with the tennis shoe I think ran about $35. I say I'm kind of frugal. This one here runs about $55-60 for this, and it's been working pretty good. I usually wear it right about every other day, and it's not. The wear, it's been holding up pretty good. I think it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 months. 3 months, I think, since I've been using this. So that's what that is. Now, like I say, that was for hiking, like a hiking boot. Okay, now I'm talking about combat boots. Now, this is a combat boot. It's lightweight. I would consider it light duty. This would be more like what police would wear. You see, it's lost a lot of the flexibility, so it is harder, and it works pretty good. I like it. It's padded, and I say it's got ankle support. So this would make a good boot. And I say now this runs about I think about $80 or $90, something like that. Now I'm not sure about the wear, on how it's going to wear. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really worn it that much, and but anyway, and the reason you have combat boots. If you've ever been, there's an expression when somebody boots you, and that's what that is they're kicking you. And when you get kicked by this, it's a whole lot easier than when you get kicked by this. This will really hurt. So when somebody's down on the ground, if you're on the ground and somebody's kicking you and they're wearing boots like this, you're going to have some damaged ribs, and you're going to get hurt. So being booted is not a good thing. I've had it done multiple times. It's very painful, and it hurts worse when they're wearing boots. Now, the reason I've even talking about boots is this last trip I splurged, and this boot I paid $130, $140 for this boot. And really the main reason that I even thought about it is it's got the I don't know if you can see it, the Marine Corps emblem on there. And my wife, she didn't know what a Marine was until after we got married, and then she realized I was a little different than most, and then she got to the point where she thought I had an unfair advantage when it came to if somebody's going to assault me, physically brutalize me, I have an unfair advantage, and she thought it would be better if I would tell people that I'm a Marine, and this way she could just turn her back and just, I've warned them. Now, if they want to continue, she doesn't want to see the blood. She was against violence a lot. So, but that's the main reason why I even looked at this boot. And I didn't like it because of the price. I say, I watch my money. And I say, I've been wearing it about every other day for about 3 months now. And it's really been working out really well. The one thing I don't like is the weight. It's kind of heavy. And the reason it's heavy is, you see, the sole is hard. And I don't know if you can see it very good, but it's not doing any wear at all on the boot, the sole. And now I'm sure that means something. I can't even read it. Valarm, or something like that. That's something, that's the sole. The sole is made of that. So it's hard. And rocks, I don't feel rocks when I walk with this thing. I mean, this thing is really, really tough. And when I got it, I thought, well, I don't know if I'm going to like it, because it's not lined, it's not padded, the ankles. Is not padded, but it does have some leather there that does protect it, protect the ankle, but it's not padded, so it's not giving it a lot of protection. But and it's not waterproof. As I say, it's got holes for the water to go in. And even our jungle boots that we wore in Vietnam, they had the same thing. They didn't make them waterproof. It's a lot easier to let the water go in and let the water come out. We had the drain holes in our jungle boots. So, but I like the suede kind of leather, so I don't have to polish it. So, but that's really working good. But like I say, the worst thing about it is it's a little heavy. So if I was to use martial arts fighting and start kicking, you kick very much with wearing boots like this, your legs are going to get a little heavy. So that's one drawback on that. But like I say, the one thing that impressed me more than anything, and that is the lacing system, the way it laces up. And and I thought lacing was lacing. It doesn't make any difference. But the string is different. It's not paracord. I think the string was designed for the boot. But the thing that's cool about it is you can stretch it out, you can put your foot in without having to unlace it all and all this other stuff. And then when you're putting it on, you can stick your foot right in there. It doesn't look like you can, but it does. It opens up and you can put your foot right in there. And the cool thing is you can grab the strings like that and you just tug it real hard, and you see it tightens up, and then you go on and tie it. And you can go on and untie it, and then when you just stretch it out, and you see it's really easy. This one here it's not easy at all, and you really have to undo this, and then you got to go back and find a hole and stuff like that. So it's not an easy on and off boot. Now, the cool thing that I really love about the lacing and the boot itself is when I have it laced up, it stays laced. I can tie it and it'll stay like that. And like I say, it's a heavy, brutal boot. Now this one doesn't have a steel toe. You can get them with steel toes. And I don't know if you'd want a steel toe or not, I don't know. But the thing that's really cool is this is what I use to drive. And remember, I drive 10, 12, maybe 14 hours a day. And you can't drive with boots because you're going like that and it's hard on your ankles. So when you're using the gas pedal and the brake. But the cool thing is you untie it and you pull it apart like that, and it's easy to use it for driving. And then if I have to get out, then I just pull it up and tie it, and I'm ready. And that's the reason why I have it, is because like I say, I'm driving through the jungles, through the desert, this type of stuff. So and if something happens, I want to have my boots on and ready for whatever it is I need to do it. So that's why the lacing system is what got my attention. And really, that's the main reason why I even made this video, because I want you to know there is a difference in the boots. And in a survival situation, definitely you need, and I would say now, you need a good boot. So just like you need a good knife, good quality, don't worry about the price, get a good quality knife, and the best knife you can afford, and just like the best, really I think you need the best boot you can afford in a way of a combat boot. Because this thing will really do good. Now, like I say, I normally don't talk about it, but the name of this is Belleville. It's a Belleville boot. That's the brand. And but like I say, I don't know. This is the first expensive boot I've bought. So, but anyway, I'm just explaining to you why it works very well for me, and it's something that you may want to consider. While we're talking about boots, I thought it'd be a good time to also talk about foot care. Now, I've talked about it before. Fungus, athlete's foot. You don't want it, and what the problem is, sometimes athlete's foot comes from the outside, and then you get it like contaminated boots. Or being in a public place where there's a lot of moisture and you're barefooted, you can get it. And so it's coming from the outside in. Sometimes, and it's fungus is what it is, and sometimes that fungus is from the inside coming out. And it comes out, normally it'll start on your feet. So in other words, when your nail gets black, it's the fungus, and it might be from what's inside of you coming out, because it's the feet are they're the furthest from the heart, and besides that, the gravity, everything pushes down, so all the toxins go to the feet. So you need to have healthy feet. If your feet aren't healthy, the rest of you is not going to be healthy either. and I'm talking about it for a long-term illness type. I mean, we're not even talking about if your feet are sore or anything like that. You're not going to be good in a survival situation. So you have to have good feet. Your feet have to be cared for well. Now I use insoles in my shoes. This way I put, and I like them with some kind of an arch, some kind of a hard arch. Now, I'm not a foot expert, so I don't know if, how exactly the structure part of the foot works. But I want to keep it as natural to my feet as possible. And that's why I use insoles. I can put them in, and I say with the hard arch, I can put them in, and I'll put 2 or 3 depending on the shoe itself to get a good fit. I normally get my shoes or my boots a half size bigger than what I would wear, and like I say, I will use the insoles to give me more padding for my foot, and that's more protection. When I was young, I used to wear tennis shoes a lot, and I don't know how many times I stepped on nails, and it hurt, and I didn't get lockjaw or none of that other kind of stuff. And most of the time I was down the creek playing, so when I got all this stuff, so somebody's been watching over me. So anyway, so my feet used to get hurt like that. Now, when I went to Vietnam, I say, it's funny, we only had 1 set of clothes and that was it. But we had 2 sets of socks. We'd wash the sock and tie it on our backpack and let it dry while we're wearing the other one. So you need to keep your feet dry and taken care of really well. You don't want foot problems. Any kind of time you have any kind of foot problems, it's going to lead to all kinds of other things. That's why even my Hoi Chi, I use the feet. I look for 1 short foot, and that tells me that you're not healthy. So, and then I fix it. I make your feet the same. So, feet are very important. Now, like I say, now I alternate at least every other day. I don't wear shoes one day and then the next day. I give them a chance to air out. And so you need to really take your feet serious. You have a foot problem, you're going to have more than a foot problem. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.